Hi there, in this video I would like to show you how to put together this beating heart gift box from Simply Crafty SVGs. So here's a version of box. It's a little slightly smaller than the final, but it has a little protruding heart out of it. I couldn't think about what to name it, so a suggestion somebody had was just a beating heart gift box. So anyways, we have the lid. So it's just a little gift box, a little heart gift box. And I thought it'd be fun to play around with the little 3D heart on the front. So with that said, here are the pieces. So here are the pieces to the, we have little pieces in here. So these are the, this is the lid. And then we have little pieces in here. Not many. There's really not that many pieces. And then we have, these are the panels, and then pieces of the heart. So this is a piece of the heart. So let me go ahead and move this. So the purple pieces of the heart are this, and that'll just be the inside, and then we have this for the outside. Okay. So those were the lid panels and side panels, and this is the lid. And then we have the side pieces, and this is an inside piece that will go once you have the box together. So let's go ahead. I'm going to put the box pieces to the left here. We might as well do what I consider the hardest piece first, which is putting together the heart, the actual 3D part. So first you want to go ahead and fold on all the scores. So I'm just doing the tabs first. Then you gently have to find the scores for these little ones. So I made the file in pieces, so if you wanted to make it a larger box, you could. And of course, if you look at our resizing, really the limits are whatever the largest, if you ungroup everything, whatever the largest piece is the largest you can make the box. So we go ahead and fold all these. So this is going to be the part right here. So this outside part. So you'll notice the tabs are slightly different. So the ones that look like this, that are just kind of almost square, or squared up, those are going to go on the inside to glue it onto the inside. So what we want to do is fold them back. So once you fold them down, so we're going to do this is a mountain fold, this is a valley fold. We're just training it so when we put it together, it'll be easier for us to pull it up to glue it on the inside. So we can do it now easier than we can when we put it together. So I'm going to move those two pieces over, and we're just going to glue this little tab. So see how it's folded there? We're just going to add little glue to the end. I'm going to fold it around. Make sure you do not go over the fold. So you can go up to the fold, or a little bit the way I'm holding it underneath the fold, but do not go over it. This is a precise piece, and things can get wonky when you do this. So this is the way I like to do it. So this is going to be I'm going to go flat. So that's going to be the pointy part, because those are the two longest pieces. So that's the bottom of the heart. So the same thing here, we're going to add glue to this tab. And just gently, and I'm just kind of moving the glue a little bit. Let me get a little bit centered here. So I just lined it up, but do not line that edge up, make sure you don't go over the fold. So you see how that is? So these are the two, this is what the two pieces look like. It's a little bit dark. Because we had a lighting change, I want to make sure you could see it. So I just added this pink piece of paper behind it just for now. So we'll go ahead and put these together. So what we're going to do is make sure that the long pieces are matching right there. See, like that? We're going to go ahead and add glue to one of these long pieces here, the tabs. So make sure you're doing the tabs that are angled, and these go on the inside of the box. So now, since that's the left side, let's take the left side of this top piece and just line it up. So if you need to fold in a tab to get it out of your way, do that. So it's always most important to get that first piece in place. So I'm just lining this edge up to the fold, tab fold, right up to it. You can see on the inside what it looks like, hopefully. Just want to make sure that's good and anchored before we do the rest of it. So let's do the other side. So you can just go ahead and reach in there, so like that. I'm just kind of scooching that glue a little bit closer to the edge. And then I'm just within, I'm just kind of pressing on the tab from within, and then with the other finger while my thumb. So you see it's going to go like that. So what I would do is, it really doesn't matter, you can just glue the tabs on the inside for the remaining ones, but I'm going to do the top ones so I can get them set in place, and then gently glue the rest of them. But I'm going to have to reach in with my fine tip applicator. So if you want to do them all at once, you can do them all at once. I just want to do the ones across from it, like that. So I'm going to show you better once my fingers are out of the way. Oops. You really have to hold that because of the valley fold. It puts pressure on it. So I can reach in and add glue to the 4 remaining tabs. Either do it from the side here, just go on the inside here. So I did the top 2, bottom 2. Now I'm just going to go inside. I'm just getting a tool to fold it back for me. So you could do them all at once. If you're really fast at gluing, you could add glue to all of them and then do them all at once. So I'm going to reach inside to add glue to the tabs. So I'm adding to the back side of it so you can't see it. Or you can try to reach in from the front. So you can see you can barely see it. Anyways, you can reach in there. It's just, this is one of the benefits of having a fine tip applicator. So now I'm just folding them in. So I'm just going by feel now because I know I already did the big top and bottoms. And then we'll go ahead and pull this one. So it's just, I'm just rotating it to glue on the back end of this. And that's it. Show you the front and the inside at the same time. So be careful with getting glue on the outside here, because it will be shown because it's a solid color. You could always ink it if you want to ink the edges. So that's what the inside looks like. And the outside. So to finish it off, go ahead and just kind of press it down, make sure the tabs are pressed in. See the tabs on the front there? We're going to add a little glue to each of them. And you can see that's what it looks like. Although you're not going to see this if we put the cover on the inside, I'm going to put the non-textured side of this textured paper against the tabs to make it glue better. But it should just, we want it to fit in place. So you might want to get it fit on the top or the bottom. It doesn't matter. Start with the top or bottom. And then go around and make sure that this fits in that inside edge. It just makes it a little sturdier. You don't really have to, but it's such a small piece that it's just worth doing that. And then we can go ahead and just glue this to the front. And I did emboss it. I thought it got it just have like a floral. It was kind of a heart floral for the theme of Valentine's Day. Cuttlebug, I think it was a Cuttlebug embossing folder, which they sadly don't make anymore. So that just fits into place there. And then I'm just going to flip it over and add a little bit more pressure to get it secure. So the heart's all ready to go. We just have to put the box together first. So there's the heart. And it'll glue on the inside like that, so you can see that all the little tabs coming out. It's just going to glue like this to the inside. So not quite. We're going to go in a different way, but anyways, that's the way it goes. Let's go ahead and put the box and lid together now. So I'm still keeping this little pink paper because just in case it gets dark again, but I changed the lighting a little bit. So here's the lid. We'll work on the lid, and here are the lid panels. So we're just going to go ahead and center the panels first, because it's always easier to put panels on when things are flat, if you can. So I already pre-folded it, so you want to go ahead and fold it on the scores. I use the same embossing folder for this as the heart. I moved it slightly. And then we'll go ahead and center the rest of them. So it just took me a little bit longer to get this settled for some reason. So the reason I pre-fold is just to make it easier for me to center it so I can see the edges and center it appropriately. Obviously I had some issues. So we'll go ahead and I'll put the remaining ones on the side, so the same thing. So you go ahead and watch me, and then I'll be back we'll put together the actual lid after we put the panels on. So now that they're on, we have all the panels. We'll go ahead and glue this together. So I have my handy dandy little miniature clothespins that come in handy when you're doing lids or small things. You can use bigger ones too, but I like these smaller ones for this. So I'm going to add glue to this tab, and I can do the other one too, because we're going to glue it this very quickly. We're going to go ahead and fold that in. Make sure this is folded in out of the way. So I'm going to go ahead and line that up. Line this little edge up to the tab fold there. And you can kind of hold it in place. And the little tip is you can go ahead and use a clothespin or something like that to hold it while you do the other ones. What's nice is you can get it lined up, and then I like to flip it on its edge and apply pressure. And I'm just going to put that there for now. Fold these in. And by the time I'm ready to glue the first one here, I'm going to take off the very first one I put on. And you don't have to put glue at the same time. I'm just doing it for the sake of, I do a lot of lids. But you could put glue on one tab and then do the next one. So if I hadn't mentioned, I am using art glitter glue. A little goes a long way. And with American Crafts textured cardstock, which is my preference. Kind of go towards the top there to make sure it gets glued right there. Or you can just hold it. Fortunately, art glitter glue dries fairly quickly. Scotch Quick Dry works well too. It's a thicker glue, and I do use it sometimes, but I've switched primarily to art glitter glue. Just make sure that that is secure. And it looks like we're all good to go. So we have the lid. So that now let's go ahead and put the box together. But we're going to put the panels on first. So I have the panels. And here are the pieces. So here it's the big piece, and these will glue onto the larger piece. I'll show you in a minute. And this is an inside panel. So this is an inside panel that once we glue the heart in, it's going to go in here so it's covered on the inside. I mean, you can always leave it open, that's up to you. So right here, let's go ahead and attach these. So you want to glue it on the inside. So I'm flipping it over so the textured side's on the outside, so I can easily see the fold. So I already folded it. And we're going to go ahead and line this little edge up to the tab fold there. Make sure it's centered on the left and right. So I'm kind of like doing double duty. I'm holding it with the other hand to make sure that we get it nice and secure here. See, put pressure on it and it moved it. So it wasn't centered anymore. I want to make sure that it's folding the way I want it to. I could tell that I didn't get quite centered there. So because I messed up on this, I'm going to just do it one more time. I'm not going to edit it out. Yeah, I do edit things out like that, but it's just because I lost where it should be folding. So I had the light on a little bit brighter than normal because of how dark it is outside, which is partially my light. So it was affecting how I can see the edges. But that's why I fold them, so I can see it well. So before we put it together, I was just making sure I was training all those. Let's go ahead and add these panels. So let's go ahead and find this, the one with the cutout right here. So it's going to go like that and have a little space on the inside and the outside. So you're basically just going to center these just like we did on the lid. And add all these, and then we'll put together the box. So I won't bore you with my voice as I'm doing this, so you can go ahead and watch. We put the rest of the panels on. Just make sure you center this one. Now that we have all the panels together, let's go ahead and put it together. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to do the front first, and then I'll add the heart after we glue this in, just like that. So these edges are going to glue under. And we'll do one side at a time. So let's go ahead and add glue to these two tabs on one side. We're just going to glue it to the inside. So start with that little first tab, so I'm just lining it up so that the tab fold lines up with that edge. And for some reason this particular color paper is absorbing my glue. Sometimes they make them exactly the same, but this one has a different texture to it for some reason. So I'm going to flip it over and apply pressure on the inside. Let's do the same on the other side. Oops. So this is Plum, American Crafts textured. I've never had a paper kind of soak in the glue as much as this color has. Not the recent. Sometimes I have issues with reds and blacks a little bit. So we're just doing it faster than that's the side was off a little bit. So once you get it lined up, just kind of flip it over, apply pressure. And then I'm not going to do, I actually got a little glue on the inside. I'm not going to do the back yet. Let's do this heart. So I'm going to flip these all in. And we're going to fit it in. I'm going to gently just make sure those tabs are in. You just want to fit that in so it's out just a little bit. I'm going to add glue to one of these long tabs down here to start with. I didn't want to add glue until I got it through, so I didn't get the glue on the front. If you can see. So we're going to anchor it in there. So it's this tab right here. I'm folding it backwards because remember I told you to train train the fold a little bit to help it easier to fold backwards. So this, we can't put a lot of pressure except our fingers, but so I'm just kind of applying pressure on the tab on the inside. And we'll start at the bottom and work our way up. Let's go ahead on the other side. So I'm just kind of folding the tab inward. And that so you can flip them back out. So I know you can't see it, but I'm going through the top because it's just easier to get to that tab. Then I'll glue it, flip it over, get it in place, try to get that edge right there, that edge in the inside tab fold. I'm going to do these two on this side. I'm just going to go around and just add glue to the remaining tabs. But I'm going to go side to side so I can make sure it's centered. So I did those two. Remember, I have a panel that's going to cover these. Do that. So the top of the heart. And then the final two. And you can always check the top at the same time. I could feel that it was in place. So I'm just going to go around, add a little bit more pressure. And I do have a little glue that I can see, but this glue dries clear, so there it is. So now we just have to close up the back. But first, let's go ahead and, so that's what it looks like. So I'm just gently placing it. So you're going to want to place this over, so you can glue that over at this point to cover that. So you can add glue to the inside of this. So it's not as wide, so you want to go kind of almost to the edge, but not quite. So I'm going to show you once I get the glue on. Here's a little, it's a little bit offset, it's a little bit smaller than the actual outside panel. And if you do like this this project, please give me a little thumbs up below and or subscribe. I would appreciate that. So there you go. So we're going to go ahead and I got a little glue. I'm just making sure the texture's on the inside. And this really is just to cover that hole. Not as much the tabs as the heart hole. So we can go ahead and add a little pressure on the inside and outside. So one thing you want to be careful of, see the little arrows, I should have had it pointing that way, but that's okay. I have them pointing both backwards if you have a pattern like that. So the last thing we need to do is to glue these back pieces in, and then the box will be finished. So same thing as the other side. The only difference is as you get to that last one, it'll be a little bit more difficult. I'm going to flip it around so you can see it. I'm just lining it up. Once I get it into place with that angle and right there, I can just flip it over and insert my hand in there to apply pressure with my fingers. You could use a tool too. So I'm not worried about, if you didn't want to see the tabs on this side, you can always cut another piece like this other inside, but I don't think it's that critical. So this last piece, just kind of pulling it apart to add some glue, and then we'll be done. So it's different. There's not a whole lot. To me, Valentine's Day, for me personally, Valentine's Day is usually about little gifts and, or some people give people big gifts, but for me, little gifts. So that's the box. And card usually. Or flowers, depend on the person you're giving it to, right? So you can see I did vastly different colors, so you can make it for with any colors. I kind of changed up the color scheme on that one. Make it a little bit interesting. Okay, so now it's all set. But now we just have to add the lid. So add your little gift. And there it is. It's kind of a different, it's a different box. I just thought it would be fun. So I hope you like this project, and thank you for watching.